Susie Matthews, and after that, Kristen Grine.
Hello, my name is Susie Matthews. I'm here tonight with my husband, Joe Matthews. Our youngest son is a junior at Katy High School, and he is our third percussionist in that roaring band from Tigerland. But our middle son was also a Katy High School varsity baseball player, which is the reason I'm here tonight. We would like to respectfully request that the Katy High School baseball field be named in honor of Coach Tom McPherson, affectionately called Coach Mac. He retired in 2022 after being the head baseball coach of Katy High School for 34 years. He was in education for 45 years, 39 of those as a head baseball coach and a teacher of history and health. He coached football at Katy High School for 32 of those years. He has been inducted in the Greater Houston Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Honor and the Texas High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Upon his retirement, with 891 wins, Coach Mack was the winningest active 6A head coach in Texas and ranks number 4 in the most career wins in Texas high school baseball. Under his leadership, the Katy Tigers baseball program became one of the most highly respected baseball programs in the state of Texas. Coach Mack is the perfect example of a great coach and leader of young men, training future husbands and fathers, and guiding hundreds in continuing their baseball careers past high school. During his long career, Coach Mack always exhibited honesty, integrity, hard work, and passion, and he expected the same in return from his players. Our son Caleb, who played for Coach Mack, said he didn't just coach them to excel in baseball, but to excel in life. He treated baseball as more than a game, but as a family. He was a role model, mentor, and friend. Coach Mack remembers every player he coached because he took personal interest in their lives. He still checks on his players who are playing baseball in college, our son included. He remains friends with many of his former players and coaches, many of whom are now successful coaches of other baseball programs. All baseball coaches take care of their field, but Coach Mack did much more than mow. He poured his heart and soul into providing a field and a winning legacy that players, families, teachers, and administrators were able to be very proud of. In our packet, we have included letters of recommendation for this honor for Coach Mack from our principal, Dr. Rick Hull, coaches Gary Joseph, Wes Hearn, and Will Handlin. We also have letters of recommendation from parents and former players. Coach Tom McPherson deserves this namesake, and we pray the right decision will be made soon to honor the career and accomplishments of this Katy ISD legend. Thank you.
Thank you. Kristen Grine. And after that, Celeste Gu.
Good afternoon/evening. My name is Kristen Grine, and I am here speaking on behalf of our family about the naming of the Katy High School baseball field. My father is Tom McPherson, and he was the head baseball coach at Katy High School for 34 years. He spent his career dedicated to that program, his players, and the game. For him to be that invested as a head coach, our family sacrificed a lot of time with him. Family gatherings, birthdays, and holidays were planned around his coaching schedules. Also because he was an assistant football coach to Katy High School for 32 of those years, so he played sports year-round. Some weeks we only saw him at the games. I even celebrated my Sweet 16 sweating in the baseball stands at the state playoffs in Round Rock. Not every girl's dream, but that's the sacrifice that we do. But our family has never had a grudge or thought twice about that sacrifice because we knew his dedication was making a difference in the lives of so many others. To this day, while we're out in Katy, people will approach us and tell us about how much, as a coach or a teacher, he made a positive impact on their life. Former players regularly come back year after year to watch the games and to watch a new group of Tigers come out on the field. They share their stories about the lessons that they learned from Coach Mack and how those lessons have continued on into their adulthood and how they use them every day. We are proud of the legacy that he has created and how his influence in the community affected so many. The family and I believe that his legacy should continue at Katy High School with the naming of the baseball field in his honor for all the blood, sweat, tears, love, dedication, commitment, and sacrifice he had poured into this program on and off the field. I thank you for your time. I would like to ask, there was another speaker, Paul Medlin. He didn't make it in time to sign in because his daughter has a concert across the way, and he's here, though, and I was wondering if he would be able to speak.
I think we need to, it's very noble, but I think we need to stick to the rules, which is everybody has to sign in. So there are a couple of other people that didn't get to sign in and didn't get to speak. So,
well, I would like to say that he and other players wanted to be here tonight and to share with you the lasting effect of the things that they were taught, not only just, as Susie Matthews said, as a baseball player, but the lessons that were instilled to them by Coach Mack in regards to how to deal with life, that you're not going to win at everything, and how to deal with those losses and how to move on and to be a respectful and an upstanding contributing member of society. And that those are the things that they impart on their children. And
thank you so much. Appreciate it. Joe McPherson, and after that, Nancy Sarce.
Good evening, board members. My name is Joe McPherson. Thank you for allowing me to speak tonight as a follow-up to the October 30th meeting where family and community members requested the board start the process of naming the Katy High School baseball field after my husband, Tom McPherson, and Coach Matt. He was head baseball coach at Katy High School for 34 of his 45-year career. Also assistant football coach for 32 years at Katy High School. Tom built one of the winningest and most respected baseball programs in Texas. If you haven't already reviewed the packet of information given at the October meeting, I respectfully request you do so. Tom ended his career with 891 wins, the fourth winningest coach in Texas. He has the most wins of any coach in Katy ISD. After his retirement, he was inducted into the Houston Area Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Honor and Texas High School Baseball Coaches Hall of Fame. His accomplishments and awards are numerous and outlined in the packet. His dedication to the game of baseball reaches farther than Katy ISD and Katy High School. He coached baseball players from all over Texas in Red River Classic games, which was part of Texas High School Baseball Coaches Association. He was director of Katy Baseball Camp for over 25 years, teaching children from all over the Houston area, ages 6 to incoming freshmen, the fundamentals and skills of baseball. Teaching and coaching wasn't a job, it was his passion. He never considered coaching as work. He lived by the words of a wise old man who once said, "Find a job you love, and you'll never work a day in your life." He loved the game of baseball and what it teaches you about life. Commitment, perseverance, making sacrifices, teamwork, handling success, dealing with failure. He also taught his players discipline and respect. For 34 years, he put in unlimited hours into maintaining Katy High School's baseball field, mowing, watering, adding stripes before the game. He took great pride in the baseball facility, and it showed. We're not asking for a school to be named after him, just a field where he dedicated 34 years. I believe he has more than checked off district requirements for the naming of a portion of a school. We have support from administration at Katy High School and the Booster Club. Myself, other family members in the Booster Club are willing to pay for the signage. We would like the dedication for the start of the 2024 baseball season. With your approval, we can make it happen. I retired from Katy ISD in June after 22 years. Combined, Tom and I have 56 years of service to Katy ISD. My husband is more than deserving of this small dedication to his career. And thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Our first speaker today is Joe Matthews. And after that, Cody Spees. Welcome.
Thank you so much, and good evening. My name is Joe Matthews, and I am here today with my wife, Susie. We are the very proud parents of 3 boys who have all attended Katy High School. Our middle son was a varsity baseball player from 2019 to 2021, which brings me for our reason for being here tonight. We would like to once again respectfully request that the Katy High School baseball field be named in honor of Tom McPherson, a.k.a. Coach Mack. A few key facts related to his Katy ISD career. Coach Mack was the head baseball coach at Katy High School for 34 years. He also coached football at Katy High School for 32 years. Prior to his retirement in 22, Coach Mack was the winningest active 6A head baseball coach in Texas with 891 wins. He ranks number 4 for the most career wins in Texas high school baseball. He has been inducted into the Greater Houston Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Honor and Texas High School Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame. Under his leadership, the Katy Tiger baseball program became one of the most highly respected baseball programs in the state of Texas. Coach Mack is a perfect example of a great coach and leader of young men who has guided hundreds in continuing their baseball careers beyond high school. Coach Mack has always exhibited honesty, integrity, hard work, and passion, and he expected the same from his players. Our son Caleb, who played for Coach Mack, said he didn't just coach them to excel in baseball, but excel in life. He's considered a role model, mentor, and a friend. If you've ever had a baseball conversation with Coach Mack, you know he remembers every player that he's ever coached. Coach Mack put his heart and soul in providing a baseball facility and building a winning legacy that the players, families, teachers, and administrators should be very proud of. In our previously presented packet, we included letters of recommendation from the principal, Dr. Rick Hall, Katy ISD coaches Gary Joseph, Wes Hearn, and Will Hanlon. We've also provided letters from parents and players. Coach Tom McPherson deserves this namesake, and we pray the right decision is made soon to honor the career and accomplishments of this Katy ISD legend. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Cody Spees, please. Followed by Paul Medlin.
Good afternoon. I'm Cody Spees. I am a former student and athlete of Coach Tom McPherson. I graduated from Katy High School in the class of 2010 and played for him from 2006 through 2010. I'm here to advocate on behalf of for the naming to be commemorated after him. Coach Mack has dedicated his life serving this community. Outside of the 34 years he spent coaching baseball here, he also spent over 20 years hosting the Katy Baseball Camp, which helped build the love of baseball and instill the skills for not only students going to Katy High School, but all across the district. He's always been a very selfless, coach. Everything he did was for his students and players. It's a thankless job, and he never once sought recognition. So I think that this would be a great way to honor the legacy that he's left behind and his contributions to not only the school, but the community and the program that he built. He built up the Katy High School baseball program from nothing and is now one of the state's top programs year in and year out. He's dedicated his life to this community, and he's served everybody, former and past, and he's even helped the students that haven't necessarily. He's always found a way to help them, whether it's athletic scholarships, academic scholarships, just finding a way to help those who deserve it. His resume speaks for itself. I don't have enough time to go through all of that, but I really do thank y'all for seeing me today and taking into consideration the reasons why the baseball field should be named in commemoration of him. Thank you.
Thank you. Paul Medlin.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for having me. My name is Paul Medlin. I went to Katy High School, graduated in '97. Mr. Matthews back here crossed off half my list with some of the accolades and things Coach Mack had done. But I just wanted to say, being a student athlete, regardless of the accolades, and we're obviously a school that's very prideful of seeing what the football team's done. And when I showed up to Katy High School, there wasn't really much to say about the baseball team. And when I walked through those doors, I chose to play straight baseball. And in hindsight, looking back now, who knew 35 years later Coach Mack was still going to be there? And by the time when I walked in, we had never made the playoffs. We had never made district championship. And by the time I left, we had done that twice, and we'd done it back to back. And here we are 30 years later, and the legacy he has built speaks for itself. Had no idea. I was getting coached by a legend. You're young and dumb, and you're just having fun. So regardless of how many playoff games or how many wins or how many losses and all that, the one thing I look at the most, because in about 7 months I'm going to have a daughter walk through the threshold of Katy High School. And she is also a dual sport athlete. And what I tell her is the same things that Coach taught me, and that's all that stuff's fun and games. And what matters first is your grades. And if you do that and you put it all on the line in the classroom, the doors are going to open down the road. And that's one promise Coach made to everybody. I can think back and I can sit here and name players, whether it's a Todd Mavis or a Micah McMeans or a Marshall Schroeder or a Corby Medlin or a Caleb Matthews. If you wanted to play at the next level, he's going to get you there. And after it was all said and done, he kept that promise. He got kids, whether it was on the football field, whether it was on the baseball field, he got them to the next level. And the next level that I'm talking about, you might think is on a ball field, but it was in the classroom. And that was what was most important. And I'm still to this day on a daily basis implementing those things with my oldest now coming down to Reese and then to Jackson. It's classroom first, being involved, doing with everything you got, and it's all going to work out. So I'm here to speak in behalf of Coach Mack, in behalf of the former players, former students, anybody that he's ever had, and hopefully the next time I go out to a ball game, if not this year, starting off 2025, I'm watching Katy play at Tom McPherson Field. Thank y'all.
Thank you. We move on now to 712, which is discuss and consider the naming of Katy High School baseball field. And as you all may recall, last month we approved a new CW modifications CW local, which kind of streamlined the board being able to name a portion of a facility. And what's being considered is Tom McPherson Field. Obviously, his background, as we know, as we've heard, and as we've read, is very impressive. Impressive background, impressive testimonies, and all kinds of letters of letters of recommendation, and about how Coach Mack has affected many young men throughout his career in a very positive way. And at this time, we have two Katy High School grads here on the board. So maybe Ms. Calhoun or Mr. Redmond would like to make some comments.
I was really excited to be able to do this after we passed the policy update. After reading through Coach Mack's very extensive packet, it was impressive to say the least. Not just with his almost 900 career wins, as everybody heard, that is incredible in and of itself. But the thing that was echoed again and again throughout all of the recommendations and testimonials from co-coaches to prior players that still are talking about him is the way that he guided and grew up young boys to become men. And I was so impacted to see that again and again and again, that it was moving. And of course, when we look at this, and I told his family this, and I told those that were here, that they did the hard work for us by putting all of that packet together. It makes it very easy for us to say, yes, our job is easy in this. because of what they put together. And he did the hard work over the 34 years that he served this district, and the way he grew up our young men to be leaders, to be men that we see now. And I can only hope and pray that my own boys have coaches and men like that to grow and to learn from, that they are surrounded by, and that we have more men that he did that to, that are able to impact our generations to come in the way that his legacy will live on. And so I'm happy to partner with Mr. Redmond to do this. It's exciting to have another Katy grad and for this to be the first deal that we do this with. So I'm beyond happy and excited to do this.
Mr. President,
Mr. Redmond?
I think Mr. Matthews, Spees, and Medlin said almost everything we needed to say. I think the small memories of getting yelled at on the football field by Coach Mack. He coached offense. I was on defense. We usually destroyed the offense. It's not important, but needed to be said on the record. Is that in the minutes? But just we have so many great people in Katy ISD, and what I like about this change of the policies, we have the ability to recognize those people. That if we could do it for everybody, it would be amazing. But when we get the opportunity to recognize someone like Coach Mack, I think we should. So, thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, we will vote on that next week, along with everything else. And the first speaker is Johnny Johnson. The speaker after that will be Amy McConnell. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you, Dr. Gregorski and President Perez and the rest of the board. Thank you very much. Tonight, I'm speaking on behalf of trying to get the Katy Tiger Baseball Stadium named after Coach Mack, Coach McPherson. When we moved here in 2014, there were two criteria that my wife and I looked for in moving here. One was a great school, and one was a great baseball coach. When my son Jack moved here in the summer of 2014, he said, I want to go meet Coach Mack. We had already done our research and looked at all the schools, and we decided on Katy High School for him. So he came up to the school, found Coach Mack, shook his hand, and said, Coach Mack, I'm going to be your catcher one day. Tonight, I'm going to read a letter that Jack has sent. He's continued his baseball career at Youngstown State up in Ohio, studying engineering and playing baseball. He'd like us to read this tonight. As a player who was coached by Tom McPherson, you'd be inclined to think that this paper is biased, in which you would no doubt be somewhat correct. For that reason, I have chosen some statistics that highlight the extraordinary career of Tom McPherson, otherwise known by me as Coach Mack. Coach Mack coached for the past 45 years, 34 of which were at Katy High School. He has a total of 881 career wins and 2 state tournament appearances. Coach Mack was the winningest active coach in Class 6A Texas high school baseball at the time and was the Positive Coaching Alliance winner in 2021. He was also named Coach of the Year in 1985. These statistics, however, cannot explain how good of a coach Tom McPherson was when it comes to his heart. He obviously passed the eye test with his awards and his wins, but let me shed some light on who he was as a person. Coach Mack loved to win, whether it was in class or on the baseball field or fundraising events. Coach Mack strongly encouraged us to be the very best we could be. There was always a winner and there was always a loser, no in between. Coach Mack grew up in a military family and quickly learned how to take care of his responsibilities. He also knew how to be a man when it came to owning personal failure. One of the things we were taught as student athletes was not to make excuses, no matter how small they might have been. Whenever I messed up, I always remember saying, yes, sir, and nothing else. That was a standard. I was so blessed to be coached by Tom McPherson because he made me better on and off the baseball field. He also made my job as a parent a lot easier because Jack took responsibility for all of his actions when he grew up. One of the things we were taught as student athletes, just covered that, sorry. That was a standard. I was so blessed to be coached by Tom McPherson because he made me better on and off the baseball field. Coach Mack was always very interactive and respectful whenever it came to conversation. He would even follow up with his past players, currently in college, to make sure we were still taking care of business. I have way too many stories that I could write that highlight how good of a person he was and still is. I hope that this short paper has explained a little bit about Tom McPherson, Coach Mack, who he was.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Joan McPherson. And after that, Brooke Wolfson.
Good evening, board members and Mr. Grigorski. Thank you for allowing me to speak again. This time I'd like to read a letter from a former parent, Sergio Nuncio, who could not attend tonight's meeting, but wanted to express his sentiments regarding the naming of the Katy High School baseball field. I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to express my sincere admiration and support for Coach McPherson, a true legend at Katy High School. With over 800 wins in his illustrious coaching career, Coach McPherson's dedication to the students and athletes of Katy High School is unparalleled. Not only did he excel as a teacher, but he also made a lasting impact as a football coach and a mentor to countless young athletes. What truly sets Coach McPherson apart is his selflessness and commitment to going above and beyond for his team. From meticulously caring for the baseball field every Sunday to organizing fundraisers to support the team's needs, Coach McPherson's dedication knows no bounds. In my experience, Coach McPherson was the epitome of dedication and passion. His tireless efforts and unwavering support have left an indelible mark on the lives of those he coached and taught. It is my strong belief that Coach McPherson's contributions to Katy High School deserve to be permanently commemorated. I urge you to consider naming the baseball field in his honor as a fitting tribute to his legacy. Waiting another 50 years for someone to match his level of dedication would be an impossible task. Coach McPherson's commitment to his students and athletes went far beyond monetary gain. His love for the game and his desire to see his players succeed were evident in everything he did. Thank you for considering my request. I am confident that honoring Coach McPherson in this way would be a testament to the profound impact he has had on Katy High School and his community. Sincerely, Sergio Nuncio. And Kiefer Nuncio was pitcher at Katy High School from 2006 to 2009, and he went on to play at UT Austin. Thank you.
Thank you. To consider 9.1, which is the naming of the baseball field, we're gonna pull that out of the consent agenda and go ahead and vote on that now. If anyone has any questions or additional comments, board members, before we vote, this will be the time, and then we'll take a vote on item 9.10, which is the naming of the Katy High School baseball field. If not, I'll take a motion.
Mr. President, I move that the Board of Trustees approves the naming of Katy High School baseball field.
Second.
The motion is made. We have a second.
Second.
We'll now proceed to vote. And the motion carries, and the ayes have it. Congratulations. We're delighted. Congratulations. Thank you.
Mr. President, could we meet him?
Sure.
Right. That's it.
You want to go ahead and,
I mean, I know him, but.
Coach, you want to go ahead and
Yell at
say,
Lance again?
I'm sorry?
Yell at Lance again.
Thank you.
President Fred, can you get a photo with him? Take a picture with our board?
No, I think we should be here.